Hey, Drakar, what's up? Alright, let's go. Battle Facts are 3.2.0 Bestiary League patch notes. Yeah? Are you going to start the jog? Probably. I'll have to POB it first. Challenge Leagues are a great opportunity to fresh starts in a new economy. All of your old characters and items are still present in the Standard and Hardcore League, but you're encouraged to join a new league, complete challenges, and demonstrate your mastery of Path of Exile. Nice, that's great. Hey Nero, what's up? Path of Exile Bestiary League. You hunt and capture hundreds of deadly beasts across rare class and then craft valuable new items with the help of the NPC Einhor Frey. Yes sir, gotta catch 'em all. To capture a monster, highlight it and press V to throw a net. If the capture fails, the beast will enrage and become more dangerous. The lower life a beast has, the easier it is to capture. Well, I think I'm gonna swear and curse a lot this league because I will accidentally kill these mofos. Nets can be found in the world or purchased from Einhor. Better nets make capturing harder beasts easier. That makes sense. Once captured, each beast is tracked in your very own bestiary, a tome full of information. Yeah, we got that. Each captured beast is kept in your menagerie, which you can visit by talking to Einhar. Once you have enough beasts, that's okay. You can use the blood altar in your menagerie to perform beast crafting, sacrificing your captured beast in combat to create augmented items. There are some very strong beast crafting recipes available, so we recommend capturing most of your beasts that you encounter. Sure. I think I'm gonna map and just capture what I get. You can also hunt for elusive spirit beasts who drop pieces of 4 new unique item sets. If you somehow manage to capture one, these spirit beasts can be used in beast crafting. Okay. The new challenge leagues include a set of 40 new challenges. When you complete 12 challenges, you will receive the bestiary helmet. At 24, you will receive the bestiary wings. When you complete the 36th challenge, you will receive the bestiary portal effect. That's what I want. The portal is so fucking nice, but it's gated behind 36, and this is Resident Snoozer. These microtransactions are only obtainable in this league. Yeah, we knew that. From the 19th challenge onwards, and for every 3rd challenge after that, you will receive piece of the bestiary totem pole. Yeah, I never complete that. Sure. Hey Kikski. Yeah, I know. I said I want. I didn't say that I will do it. Measure new content and features. Added 2 new skill gems and 1 new support gem. Yeah, we got those. Added new dexterity strength skill. Skill gem spectral shield throws. No. We got these already. The tectonic slam. And the phantasm. We already saw those. Add Abyss to the core game. For information on changes made Abyss and related features, see the Abyss section below. Introduce the final Elder encounter. This endgame encounter is the single most difficult challenge Path of Exile currently has to offer. Good luck. Well, thanks. Add the Elder Orb, obtainable after collecting all of the Shaper's memory fragments. The Elder Orb can upgrade any map on your atlas to tier 16. So we don't need to kill the Uber Elder for it? Fuck man, I thought we have to kill Uber Elder for it. And it's getting gated behind something really strong. And not all the plebs in the universe can get it. Well, sucks. Anyway. Added the 27 new unique items, 16 of which are exclusive to the Bestiary Challenge League. That's great. Added 27 new faded unique prophecies. We saw some of these, but not all of them. Maybe something really crazy pops out. I always hope for it, but never happens. Added a new quest, Vilenta's Vengeance. Vilenta has sided with Kitava and must be dealt with. Seek her out in Act 10 and defeat her for a skill point. Another quest that we have to do. That's Resident Snoozer. Existing characters who have completed the prerequisite quest map to will already have the skill point and can instead collect the new. It's alright. Added a new act and area. So we got a full new skill point, right? That's not bad. A new act and area. The control blocks. Could this be where Violenta has been hiding out the whole time? We'll see. Added 10 new divination cards designed by our supporters. We saw those. The breach ones are super neat because we don't have breach this league. Enabled the Rogue Exile. We said we added last time, but this time we really mean it. Or do we? What Rogue Exile? Added 2-ish new vendor recipes. 2-ish? Well, what is 2-ish? Added 2-ish vendor recipes. What the fuck? Gigi, come on now, seriously. Hey Frank Lucas. Hey Jogger. Alright, let's go. Yes, they did that, Kikski. I will show you in a second. Added 6 new Grandmasters and updated or replaced 5 others. Wait, what? Added 6 new Grandmaster and updated or replaced others? Wait, what? Minor new content and features. The Witch can now select Lesser Poison support as a quest reward upon reaching Lion Eyes Watch. Okay, the Shadow is no longer offered Lesser Poison support as quest reward for reaching Lion Eyes. Okay. Unique items dropped by bosses in special areas such as the Apex of Sacrifice, Shaper's Realm, and Breach domains are now allocated to the area's creator. This also applies to blessings dropped by Breach Lords. Oh, this is neat, because now you can safely invite as many players you want to offer them the kill and get the monies for it, and they cannot steal your items anymore. They cannot steal your items anymore. So if I create the zone, it's mine. It's all mine. This is really, really good. Because if they do challenges like killing Chayula or killing Shaper, stuff like that, as a good boss killer early on, you can make a ton of monies. And don't worry about the scammers getting your items. That's really, really good. I like it. Tricks are already nerfed. Yeah, we'll get to that. Added 3D art for Demon Sturge. Characters deleted during an event, such as race, are no longer removed from the ladder and can still be awarded prizes. This was the same before. Made improvements to Zana Atlas questline, in particular to the sequences featuring the Shaper and Elder. Alright. Completing Zana's Atlas quest now grants Zana experience. It's easier to reach level 8 with her now. That's great. That's really good. When you use your stash, the in-game chest now opens. It's like you're really there. Oh wait, what? So it's gonna flip up? That's nice. The patch now does significantly fewer wait, what? The patcher now does significantly fewer writes during the allocating space part of the patching process. Alright. Updating several vendor recipes to now output shaped or elder items if all the input items were also shaped or elder. Oh, that's great. Improved achievement checking functionality in cases where the achievements server can be reached. Alright. Streamlined Zana's take the shaper dialogue options. Now the one option handles all available orbs. Alright. Added support for using Harbinger orbs and Horizon orbs on the most recent map series. Improved the appearance of... Wait, what? Improved the appearance of the metal. Oh, metal? Throughout the game. Alright. I want to see that. More skills can now burn the grass. More particles. More awesome crashes. Let's go. The Purifier has received new skill effects for its sword creating projectile skills. Glacial Cascades effect now fades out rather than popping out. The Dancing Dervish now carries across any cosmetic effects applied to it when it is manifested. Players with accounts created through Steam can now associate an email address to the account through the Path of Exile website. To do this, go to Manage Account and then change email. This is really great because now you don't have to contact them anymore to do this. Slightly improved Hall of Grandmasters performance. Improve the visibility on the atlas of uncompleted maps that are under the Elder's influence. The map device in the Templar Laboratory now has an awesome new effect. I don't care because I use my hideout. Many story glyphs, such as Malachi's Ladder to Chevron and the Warden's Chambers, have had their visuals updated to be slightly more eye-catching. Alright. DPS calculations now take whether or not a particular weapon will actually be used, such as when dual wielding two different weapon types, one of which cannot be used by the skill you are using into consideration. So, whoa. DPS calculations now take whether or not a particular weapon will actually be used, such as when dual wielding two different weapon types, one of which cannot be used by the skill you are using into consideration. This doesn't change your actual damage at all, but does now provide a more accurate tool. Oh, only the tooltip. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Anyways, I don't look at the tooltip. Improved the way Side of Shards work with the weapon effects. Stone Barrier now clearly states that it doesn't support minion skills. Add a new help panel. Continued. Incrementally improve the sound art. That's alright. Good. Yo, Clint, what's up, man? Alright. Abyss changes. Abyss has been rolled into the core game. You can now encounter abysses in the world from part 2 onwards. Each area has approximately a 10% chance to spawn abyss. That's fine. Abyssal depths can no longer appear in areas below level 70. Okay, so only in maps, that's great. Stygian-wise belts can now only be found by completing an Abyssal Depths area. Alright, the various Abyss Jewel base types can now only be found from hordes in Abyssal Depths and Abyssal Troughs from completing an Abyss. You are less likely to find rare Abyss Jewels. That's great, this is great. Because this way they will have actual value now. Because the rate of appearance is lower. You can only get them from depths, which is like 1 in 5 abysses or some shit like that. And on top of that, the drop rate is lower. That's pretty sick, because these things will have value now. New Sextants mod has been added, which grants additional abyss. Wait, okay. Character balance. Player traps now explode at the end of their duration, triggering their skills. The exception to this are Bear Trap and Conversion Trap, which still break at the end of their duration. Oh, we don't care, I don't play traps anyways. Skill balance. The following trap skills have had their base duration lowered to 4 seconds from 16. Fire Trap, Ice Trap, Lightning Trap, Wall Lightning Trap, Trap Support. Each of these traps will now trigger at the end of its duration. Okay. The following trap skills have had their base duration lowered to 8 seconds from 16. Bear Trap, Conversion Trap. Okay. Minion damage has been adjusted, and all minion types except Raging Spirits will attack more quickly but deal less base damage. This also fixes the long-standing issue where added damage would only apply in part to most minions, so many minions will also get up to 50% more damage. Sources of increased attack speed if you... okay, I don't care about minions, I don't play minions anyways. The slam skills used by race zombies can no longer be evaded. Okay. Volley and Projectile Nova now interact by creating projectile sources to either side of the player based on the number of projectiles. dividing those projectiles among those sources, and then each of those sources firing the projectiles in Nova. Alright. Shrapnel shot now converts 50% of physical damage to lightning damage, up from 40. Whatever. Herald of Ash now also provides more spell fire damage and can trigger the overkill burn from spells. This is great for spellcasters. Now they can actually use Herald of Ash. Item balance. Many divination cards have had their drop weightings and locations adjusted. RIP Hat Hunter, boys! RIP Hat Hunter! You haven't read the True patchnotes yesterday? I did.
Pogchomp.
Pogchomp, man. 9 months, $25 sub, man. Thank you so much. You're the greatest, man. Thanks. Pogchomp. Anyways, let's move on. RIP Hat Hunter, boys. I mean, RIP Hat Hunter from divination card farming, that's what I meant. Like farming Boreal Chambers and Spider Forest. RIP. Because we don't have breaches anyway, and then the drop rate is gonna be lower. You should now find a better variety of cards throughout areas introduced in the Fall of Oriath. Some maps which had several high value cards have had some of those cards move elsewhere. What? The Dying Anguish divination card can no longer reward gems with a maximum level lower than 20 Orval gems. Skill gems which previously had the cast tag now have the spell tag. Alright. Skills which are spells but do not benefit from increased spell damage now exactly say so in the skill description. This has no impact on gameplay. Alright. Unique item balance. The Strange Barrel unique strongbox encounter has been reworked. It still doesn't contain Swarm of Things, but if it did, those swarm would spawn more quickly. Alright. It's that unique box that we never kill because it has shitty items, right? Alright, that doesn't matter then. Shroud of Lightless can no longer drop with 2 Abyssal Sockets. Shroud of Lightless, which one is this? Oh, this one? Wait, what? Shroud of the Lightless can no longer drop with 2 Abyssal Sockets? I didn't even know that they can drop with 2 Abyssal Sockets. I thought they can only drop with 1. Alright. Projectiles from the Lightwatcher helmets trigger skill Spirit Burst no longer always pierce. They travel 50% slower, which also affects the distance they travel. Their damage has been reduced by 25%. This affects all versions of Lightwatcher. Well, this one seems really bad, but actually it's not, because now it won't travel 3 screens, it will travel only 1 screen because the 50% slower and 25% less damage. That might affect it a little bit, but now you can chain it. So no, you can chain it. You can put chain on it, and when you chain it, it resets the travel distance. So if it travels 1 screen and you chain it, when it chains, it travels another screen. So it's still good. I don't see Lightwatcher being bad. You get pierced from elsewhere, Wookie, so you pierce and chain, and it's just sick. Now, yeah, the damage reduction is probably a little bit bad. Okay. Surface Last Breath now recovers life over 4 seconds instead of instantly. It now heals for 450, 600, the mana cost down from 800, divining existing versions. Okay. Here we go, boys. Bisco Scholar now grants 35 to 50% increased quantity of items found from slain normal enemies, down from 50 to 100. Existing versions will become legacy. Using a divine orb will set existing versions to the new values. We'll add this to the patch notes now. Well, rip a chase unique. That's how I feel about it. I think that Bisco was super strong. I think that Bisco should never make it to the game in the first place. So the only thing that I'm unhappy about this change is that we lose a chase unique. That's about it. Because now it's gonna be way better to run a Shaper Amulet that has 10 quantity on it and defensive or offensive stats instead of running the 35-50 increased quantity of slaying normal enemies, because it's gonna be around the same. Because the Shaper Amulet applies to all the monsters, not only the normal monsters. So, and you get a lot of offensive and defensive stats as well. Whatever. Doriani's Fist now clarifies that the added lightning damage specifically applies to unarmed attacks, any attacks with a hand that is not holding an item. This means it will not apply to Spectral Shield Throw, as that skill uses a hand that has to be holding a shield. Alright. Onigoroshi's drop chance has been adjusted, and by adjusted we mean lowered. Alright. A lot. Onigoroshi's drop chance has been adjusted, and by adjusted we mean lowered. A lot. I like this one. Sunblast no longer causes traps to trigger when they expire, as that is now a base property of almost all traps. Okay. Monster balance. %, quantity Biscos is equal to 11.25 overall item quantity. If that's the math, then a 10% quantity amulet is way better, because if you stack up quantity throughout your whole gear, the 11.25 with the diminishing returns and everything is gonna be even worse than a 10 quantity amulet, probably. So, yeah. Alright, Petrot, I will be here for the next couple hours, probably. Okay, monster balance. The damage increase from monster rarity, magic unique, etc. has been made multiplicative with other damage modifiers. This means, for example, that a map mod that increases a boss damage will be significantly more noticeable. Ouch! Most but not all sources of increased damage, such as specific monster or map mods, have had their values adjusted to compensate. Be careful when fighting unique monsters, especially in mod heavy maps. Fuck this, man. This doesn't mean that the monsters fight back. This means that the monster will straight up dumpster you. They will just one shot. It's fun because now it's gonna generate a lot of fun situations in hardcore. When you watch hardcore streamers, now you can actually see them dying a lot. So yeah, the following monsters are no longer immune to taunt, though they may not retarget based on being taunted. This primarily to enable new Ascendancy passive skills in the Champion Ascendancy. The Shaper, the Elder, Guardian of the Phoenix, Guardian of... Okay, so they made them tauntable. This is really, really great. Because now the Champion stat is not useless. Great. Maligaro and his map equivalents as well as Alira's map equivalents now use a new version of Detonate That, which explodes all corpses in an area after a delay. Great. Avarius Resemble now has 20% more life. Alright. The Onigoroshi version of Hillock has more life, deals more damage, and has learned a new trick. Okay. Well, it's not worth to farm the Onigoroshi because you have to farm it for like 8 hours or so on average now. It's just not worth it. In 8 hours I'm in maps already. Female ghosts have been seen roaming the haunted halls of Oriat alongside their male counterparts. The damage and attack speed of the male ghost has been adjusted. What does this mean? Lowered? I guess it was buffed. The rest of spinning swords now play an effect when they appear and disappear, making it easier to see them. This is great because I always hated that fight. Kitawa's heart and the Elder in his unstable phase can no longer be slowed below their base speed. This was causing issues with animations playing out of sync with their actions. That's great. Piety now deals 33% less damage. Ooh. They buffed Rice QT. With her melee attacks in Belly of the Beast. Her cleave damage has been increased slightly. They didn't buff him so much. Adjusted to the cooldown on the Grazing Taurus Sunder-esque skill, it is now considered an attack rather than a spell for mitigation purposes. Alright. Bamet Shifting Darkness now better signals when he's using his Val Detonate That skill. The skill now radiates outwards for a set distance rather than along all corpses connected to his target. I don't really understand how this is gonna work. I need to see it. But I think it's gonna be better than it was before. You're not just dying right away, you're gonna get some visual effect to see it. Mongrels found in Act 8 can now be desecrated. They have also been renamed to Ruin Hellions. Alright, the following monsters have had their base life significantly increased. Chaos Golem, Arctic Golem, Ice Golem, Lesser Flame Golem, Lesser Ice Golem, and Unearthly Skeleton. This is great. These are the golems, right, that we are using. This is absolutely great because now they are not dying all the time. Probably. Dominus and his map variants are now less likely to skip their audio clues for Touch of the God and Light of the Divinity. That's great. Now you can actually hear him. Hey, Piggy's not boosted. What's up? Okay. The Elder encounter balance. Zana now appears to provide protection much closer to the Elder upon defeating it. It should be much harder to miss her now. Her dialogue is now shown in the chat window. This is great for hardcore. For softcore it didn't really matter. The portal phase is now significantly shorter but more difficult, spawning more minions in a shorter period of time and using more skills. The minions spawned during this phase target the Shaper more aggressively. Oh shit. The Elder's unstable phase is now more difficult and can drop more Elder items. If successfully completed, this is now the only way to obtain the Watcher's Eye unique jewel. I would have said that you don't care about this because you want the Shaper to die anyways, but then you cannot get the Watcher's Eye. Alrighty. The others expanding circles during this unstable phase now deal the same amount of damage as the ones in the earlier phase of the fight. This was the oversight. As a result, this skill deals 70% more damage than previously during the unstable phase. Okay. The Elder growing Doom Circle ability is now removed when Zana appears. That's great. 1 second. Alright, let's move on. Okay. Map and atlas balance. There is now a limit to the number of sextants you can apply to your atlas. The base maximum is 1, but this limit is increased by completing bonus objectives and Zana's quests up to an absolute maximum of 5. Adding sextants above this limit removes the oldest one. Existing atlas will keep their sextants, though applying new sextants will still remove the oldest one. You can see which map has the oldest sextants by hovering over the new sextant display on your atlas. Well, we saw this on the earlier pre-patch thingy. I don't know how is this gonna play out. I wasn't really a big fan of sextants because it's tedious to buy them. But I just feel like we're gonna buy way more now. Because you're gonna block like 4 and you're gonna use 1. This is how it's gonna play out, probably. You're now twice as likely to obtain maps you have not yet completed on the atlas as maps you have. This is intended to help players who choose to play solo complete their atlas. This is really great. This is really great. You can navigate through the atlas way easier. There's only one situation when this is bad. Let me show you. So if you're running your atlas, for example, you're running Siege and Scriptorium and Colonnade, which are connected to it, are not completed, there's a much higher chance to get these maps instead of Museum. That's what it says? Yeah, probably that's what what's the thing. The only problem is when you're running, for example, let's say you're running Spider Forest and you want a tier 12, a shaped tier 12, whatever, doesn't matter which one. You have a shaped tier 12 and you take off Castle Ruins. Castle Ruins would have dropped before anyways, but now it's gonna be almost 100% that you get Castle Ruins instead of getting something else. But yeah, it's really good when you're going through the atlas, that it helps to build your atlas way faster, especially for solo self-fund dudes. For the trading league, it's not that big of a deal because you can buy the maps, but it's also a help for the trading league as well. Alright. Made changes to how map selection occurs when choosing which maps contain the Elder and his Guardians. As a result of this change, it will be easier to encounter the Elder on higher tier maps. Wait, what? So now when you're setting up the Elder on your atlas, the chances of him spawning on the high tier maps is higher? That's insanely good. I love it. I love this change. I really like it. I really fucking like it. This is really good. I love it. Vault is nerfed, Patrot. It's not worth to farm it anymore, I think. Maps that contain the Elder no longer contain additional monsters or provide Elder rare items from monsters other than the what? Maps that contain the Elder no longer contain additional monsters or provide Elder rare items from monsters other than the Elder. Okay, so what does this mean is that when you have the Elder on your atlas on one map, we could farm that map beforehand, but now they changed it. It's the same as the Guardians were before. So you don't get the Elder specific monsters and you don't get the items either. This sucks, but it's good because it takes out the RNG bullshit. The only thing is now they have to remove the circle that you can make, that half circle, and you will have infinite Elder on some of your maps. If they take out that as well, then it's gonna be great, because now you are not forced to do this bullshit again. The change in how monsters' rarity affects damage increases, see above, has resulted in changes to the Savage and Overlord's map prefixes, as well as Dead and Texas map mods. These changes can be obtained or obtained on existing items by using a Divine Orb. obtained, I suppose. That's what they wanted to say here. Many maps have undergone monster density changes to bring them closer in line with each other. Oh man. Now there are two situations here. We have three great maps. Toxic Sewers, Haunted Mansion, and Waste Pools, right? These are the three good maps. The rest are trash. They either dropped the density from these maps and put them alongside with the shit maps, which I can see happening. I'm almost 100% sure that's the case, to be honest. Or they buffed the other maps. Well, according to Gigi, nerfing the XP the last patch, fucking up the densities beforehand, I see this being a nerf, but I hope it's not. We'll see, because we lose the Sextant, and the maps will feel terrible. Like, I mean terrible, with no monster density. And we're playing an ARPG here, not an MMORPG, where you have one monster, two screens, then you have another monsters, and you go two screens again and you have another monster. Hope it's not gonna be the case. The Shaper's Ultimate Chaos Bullet Hell skill now deals 70% less damage to minions. Alright. The boss in Death and Texas unique map deals less damage with its melee attack and should be significantly less likely to one-shot you after transforming. Alright. The Treasure Pass in Vault map, boss encounter, and the boss itself now drops fewer items. Okay, nice nerf. The boss will also use skills that consume treasure piles slightly more often. On average, a Vault boss run should now drop a quantity of items similar to other maps of the same tier, whereas previously it was significantly more. I already felt that the Vault map was nerfed last league. I got way less cards from the piles, and now you're gonna get none, pretty much. I'm not sure if it's gonna be worth to farm Vault anymore at all. Purna the Challenger now signals when it is casting skills more clearly. Alright, the Enslaver Slam ability now deals more physical damage relative to fire damage and always applies Ignite. Okay. The boss encounter in the Desert Spring map now has two unique Scorpion enemies during the pursuit phase of the encounter. Wait, what? This phase also now has 4 hours for players to bust open. Defeating the boss now enables portals into and out of the boss room. Fuck this, man, I hated this fight. I hated this fight beforehand, and now you have 2 Scorpions to fight. Clint, this is your favorite fight, man. Now you have 2 Scorpions, not 1. Fuck this. Improve the layout of the Scriptorium and Excavation maps. Oh shit. There should be fewer dead ends and empty spaces now. Okay, that's great. The armor map is now more linear and should contain fewer dead ends. This is great as well. Move monsters a little further away from the entry point of lookout maps. Sure. Decrease the size of Paros map. Alright. The Vessel of the Val sub-bosses in the Ciri areas can no longer submerge immediately upon activating unless you are very far away. This is good because you can one-shot them easier. And they don't go away and enrage after that. Hopefully. The Orchard map boss room has been redesigned and now has a labyrinth traps in it, which the Vision of Justice will try to teleport you onto. Fuck this. The Orchard and Plaza map bosses now disable all the traps in their rooms when they die. Their magic packs have been moved to outside the boss room. Alright. Grandmasters in the Hall of Grandmasters now generate 2 Vol souls per second, up from 1 soul per 5 seconds. Alright. Passive skill tree balance. The Acrobatics Keystone now grants 30% less energy shield, down from 50% less energy shield. This is to better enable hybrid energy shield evasion characters for whom acrobatics should be valid choice. Valid choice? Oh really? Are you serious, Gigi? Are you fucking serious? Well, 30% less is still a huge amount. We can only generate a really low amount of energy shield nowadays after the energy shield nerfs, and 30% less. This one is still not viable for energy shield. Come on, Gigi. This is just bullshit. This is bullshit. Passive skills which increase physical damage dealt by stuffs or wands, or damage dealt by wands, now also increases the damage of ailments caused by those weapons as well. Alright, this brings them in line with all other weapon passives. Okay. Ascendancy rebalance. All 19 ascendancies have been reviewed and undergone extensive changes. As a result, the changed mainly existing ascendancy passive skill trees will be reset. Sure. From what I know, only the Trickster got changed from what we've seen so far, and the Raider, right? And the Trickster only got this one nerfed, Harness of the Void. I mean, it got quite trashed, to be honest. Let me see what were the Trickster. Just to compare it, what does this mean to the Trickster? Okay, Trickster. Where is the Trickster? Can somebody give me that website where I can see the Trickster, please? Like the before nerf stuff. Actually, let's see if I can see it on the Path of Exile Twitter. Jog, Saboteur, Trickster, there it is. So the Trickster beforehand, it had 20% chance to gain 50%. So, you know, the Harness of the Void grants you its 25% chance to gain 25. So it was 20 to gain 50. This one got halved. 15% to gain 50. So the percentage is the same here. And then 5%, which is lowered by 5%, and it's halved again. This one got a pretty huge hammer, to be honest. But as it was beforehand, was super fucking strong. So I think the nerf is kinda crazy. It might still be viable for some of the builds, but now you need a lot of investment for the builds to work. But beforehand it was way too strong. So, I mean, yeah. That was expected, to be honest. Okay, Zana League mods available during 3.2. Onslaught on level 2. Monsters have 20% increased attack and cast speed, increased quantity of items found, not worth. Bloodlines cost 3 chaos. Magic monsters pack each have a bloodline mode, 25% more magic monsters, 20% increased quantity. This is way better for 3 chaos. So if anything, you're gonna use bloodlines instead of using onslaught. Then we got torment. Fortune favors the brave. For 4 chaos, not worth. Nemesis on 5. This one's gonna be used only for what's it called? For chancing headhunters, yeah. Beyond cost now 4 chaos. Fuck this, man. I'm still gonna use it when you're grinding for EXP. It's still gonna be the way to go. Perendus, nobody cares. And Harbinger, come on, seriously, Harbinger on 8. Jesus, man. Harbinger sucks, man. But on the other hand, it's worth it. I feel like it's gonna be worth it to rush to Harbingers, because the Harbinger orbs and all the orbs that you can upgrade map levels with gonna be really, really strong early on in the first month, let's say. I feel like this is gonna be quite a significant money generator. So in case you're farming high tier maps and you want to generate currency, I think level 8 is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great. I'm gonna read chat in a second, guys. Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I might rush to level 8, honestly. The reason why I want to rush to level 8 is because the Zana prophecies early on are really cheap, and you get a lot of map drops when you find Zana, and that pays for the prophecy anyways. So it's not like it's cheap. You actually generate money with the Zana prophecies early on, and on top of that, you just level up your Zana to level 8. So it's worth it all the time. I'm gonna do it. War changes. You can now enter the control blocks in Act 10. The Weaver's boss room in Act 2 is now smaller, and it's more difficult to avoid spawning spiders. Alright. Rework the layout of the harvest in Act 4. It now has fewer dead ends. That's really good. All versions of the crypt in Act 7 now contain a bundle of unique monsters. Disable the ability to click on Waylam's ship from the Brian King's Reef to travel back to the beacon. You can still talk to Waylam to return to the beacon. This was to prevent accidental back travel. Alright. So this is just monster changes and area changes, yeah. Prophecies added 27 new faded uniques. Oh shit. That's really nice. The Deadly Twins prophecy will no longer consume thy maps. Bosses have been slain by the Elder or his guardians. That's really good. Okay, PvP, we don't care. And then the bug fixes. We don't really care about that. Ranger Deadeye. Ricochet now requires fast shot other than fast and deadly. Now grants 10% more damage with projectiles for each remaining chain. Alright. Zana League mods available during 3.2. Wait, what? Cost 4 Chaos Orbs. Okay. Which occultist? Unique item balance. Viscous color. Yeah, we got this already. Okay, that concludes the patch notes.